we go. So, last chat. Oh,
This is the farthest.
that's big. Let's make it small.
We're gonna make it 200 just in case.
Not even half.
Okay, last chapter we did some problems like this. What kind of problem was this? Foil. So we had to do like first times first.
Oh, I can't.
The outside. This is not what we're doing today, by the way. The inside and the last. Whoops. -4 times 3. Okay, and remember a lot of times these two added together, right? 3a minus 4a is -1a. Okay, so today what we're doing is learning how to unfoil these, factor these. So this is called, I think our book calls it trinomial factoring. 1, 2, 3. I just usually call it 3-term factoring. Okay, so whenever you're factoring 3 terms, it's always the pattern a squared, a, and then the number. Okay, it could look like x squared minus 4x minus 5, something like this. This is trinomial or 3-term factoring. So when you start, it's going to look like the beginning of a FOIL problem because we're kind of unfoiling it. We're breaking it into what two things multiply to get that. So for the front, it's just what times what equals a squared. A times a. Okay, today is kind of the easier version. You guys remember I said Thursday is kind of the harder version of this? Anyways, hopefully that goes well. For the back part, it's what multiplies into -12, but it also has to add up to this middle term, negative. In this case, it's -1. So what multiplies? Let's make a list. What could multiply into -12?
-4, -3.
Okay, -2 and 6, or -6 and 2, -3 and 4. So when you have a negative, one of them has to be negative, right? To multiply to get a negative. -4 and 3, -1 and 12, -12 and 1. Okay, all of these multiply into -12. But only one of these pairs adds up to -1. Which pair adds up to -1? -4 plus 3, right?
Oh, I'm done.
-4 times 3 is -12. -4 plus 3 is -1. So it multiplies into this, and it adds up to that. So what do I do with that? It just goes right here, -4 plus 3.
Oh.
Okay, guess how I can check this?
Foil.
If I foiled it, it should go back to that. Now, I kind of already did back at the beginning. I foiled that to get that. Anyway, let's go ahead and jump in. We need more practice, but we'll do it on the odds. All right. I hate to pick on you guys with this because some of us struggle with our times tables, but I think I might do it anyway. I should say a lot of us struggle with their times tables, so don't feel bad. You're in good company. Does anybody want to volunteer to start?
Brian.
All right, Moses.
Who said Brian?
Brooke.
Is Brooke?
Break your legs.
Brooke's like, what? Okay, Moses. So for today, it's going to be kind of easy. What goes into a squared for the front part? Shh. Hush. Okay, for the back, what multiplies Moses into 15? That adds up to 8. 5 and 3. So they're both positive, so we're just going to put +5 and +3. Does the order matter? Like, is this the same thing?
Yes.
Yeah, these are the same thing. Because order of multiplication does not matter. So both of these answers are correct. You only have to put one. Number 3. I'll go ahead and put my A's in front. So Brianna, what multiplies into 3 that can add up to -4? So what multiplies into 3? There's only one option. 1 times 3. Okay, but how do I make it add up to a -4 though? Because 1 and 3 add up to +4. So how would I make it add up to a -4? Any ideas? Anybody? Right. So does -1 and -3 multiply to +3? Yes. Yeah. This times this also is +3. Do they add up to -4?
Yes.
Yes, they do. There probably are some primes in here today. I didn't really look. 1, 2, 2 evens, 2 odds. Yeah. There's 2 even primes and 2 odd primes. So there are a couple that won't work. So if you get stuck and you're not sure, you might just leave it blank and then, well, then if you find out at the end you've only got 2 blanks, then you did it right. There's 2 primes. One of them, maybe I should go ahead and mention this. There is kind of a tricky one that they like to do. Well, these two kind of fool people a lot. What multiplies into -6 that adds up to -5? This might be one of the problems, maybe. Okay. She said 2 and 3. But to add up to -5, they both have to be negative, right? Did -2 and -3 multiply to -6?
No.
No.
Positive 6.
Right. So that would actually be this answer down here. -2 and -3. They multiply to +6, because a negative times a negative is a positive, and they add up to -5. So, does anybody know what the answer to this one is? There is an answer, it's not prime.
Is it like +1 or something? 1, 6.
Yeah. -6 and 1. They add up to -5, and they multiply to -6. Anyway, that's kind of a confusing one for people. Get it backwards. Alright, b squared plus b minus 20. Okay, so if there's no number in front of the b, what number is in front of the b? 1. Alright, b and b. Okay, Mallory, what multiplies into -20 that also adds up to 1? Okay, let's make a list. What goes into 20? 1 and 20. 2 and 10. That's all. Okay, but because it's a -20, one of these would have to be negative to multiply to get -20. So how could I get a 1, a positive 1, out of one of these pairs? Like 20 minus 1? No. Okay, if you put the negative right there on that 4. -4 times 5 is -20. And 5 plus -4 is 1. Same thing as 5 minus 4. So 5 minus 4 adds up to 1. Anyway, -4, positive 5. So yeah, if you're comfy with multiplying and adding negatives, this lesson's not too bad, but if it's a struggle, it'll be a struggle. Number 7, a squared plus 2a minus 8. Alright. So Josiah, what's some stuff that multiplies into -8? 2 and 4. Okay, how could I use those to add up to 2? yeah, which one's gonna have to be negative to get a 2? Okay, if you put it on the 4, what's 2 plus negative 4? Negative 2. But we want a positive 2. So we actually need it on the 2. So 4 negative 2. Or negative 2 and 4. So this one's going to be kind of easier because everything's positive, so we don't really have to worry about any negatives here. Positive, positive. Let's see. Leah, what can multiply into positive 4? Leah, 2 times 2, or what's the other option? Right. Okay, do either of those add up to 7? No. So guess what the answer is? This is one of the 2 odd. Okay, good job. You can read. All right, that is one of the odd primes. Number 11, x squared minus 13. All right, let's see. All right, so what multiplies into 20? Let's make a list.
I can do it.
I feel like we already made this list, didn't we? What multiplies into 20? Yeah, right there. Right there, number 5. 1 and 20, 4 and 5, 2 and 10. Okay. Now,
I know the answer.
hold on. So, if I add those together, I get 21 or 9 or 12. But how do I make them add up to negative 9? Well, yeah, not only is 1 and 20 factors of 20, negative 1 and negative 20 are also factors. Or negative 4 times negative 5. Or negative 2 times negative 10. So which of these add up to negative 9?
Wyatt, that's Wyatt's alarm.
Because he said it yet probably the night before.
Probably said the night before.
Is that
he skipped
actually-
school. That's
I
his
thought it was
alarm.
something cool.
I know.
We're gonna white phone.
I'm so glad my alarm isn't. That's Wyatt's.
What a goofy alarm.
I was an 8-year-old alarm.
Make sure you all judge him for his alarm. All right. So negative, you guys figured out already? Negative 4, negative 5 add up to negative 9.
Yeah, that makes sense. Good information, man.
All right. Corbin, so what multiplies into 10? That could add up to 7. 5 and 2. So when everything's positive, that kind of makes it easier because it's got to be positive to add up to a positive. And anyways, so plus 5 and plus 2. Okay. Let's see, AJ. All right, AJ, what could multiply into negative 30? 10 and 3. One of them would have to be negative, right? So I'll just, to multiply to a negative. So I'll just list both of them. Could be negative 10 and 3, or it could be 10 and negative 3. Okay, what else? Do either of these, maybe I should stop. Do either of those add up to negative 3? No. Okay, what else can go into 30? There's not a lot. 6 and, yep, 6 and 5. So it could be one of those. Do either of these add up to negative 3? No. There's one more thing. Well, actually I lied, there's 2. Yeah, 2 and 15. Huh? Yeah, it's okay when I do it though. Okay, do those add up to negative 3? No? Okay. What's the 1 and 30? Do those add up to negative 3? No, okay. It's fine.
How many evens does it have?
2. How far did I say we're going? 24? Into this. Okay, this looks harder, but it's not. There's almost nothing different. Almost nothing different.
Almost.
Okay, let's see. Bow. So the front is going to start the same. So what goes into x squared? Okay. For the back, let's ignore the y squared for a second. Shh. What multiplies into 100? 50 and 2. 1 and 100. 4 and 25, like 4 quarters. Okay. Is that out of 20? What number times itself equals 100? Remember that one? All right, you guys can open that one. 10 times 10 is 100. Does that add up to 20? Okay, but does 10 and 10 multiply to get 100y squared? No. What do we need to add on to the 10 to make it right?
10y squared.
10y. Just 10y and 10y. Because when you multiply those y's together, they become y squared, right? Okay, well, how does that give us a 20xy in the middle? When you FOIL the outside and the inside, they become 10xy and 10xy. So that's kind of just taken care of. So anyway, in this section on the end, instead of just putting like 10 and 10, you're going to have to put like 10y and 10y. Something like that. So we have to add an extra letter on these. And again, if you FOIL it, it should come out right. Oh shoot, there is a prime in this section, and it's even. So I changed my answer to 3 even primes. Ooh, this one looks tough. All right. All right, here we go. So, John, what multiplies into 96? Okay, that would be 84. Shh, hush.
8.
Your ringtone sucks.
Why your alarm went off? Oh, there it is.
We all did.
Did you know it was yours?
Yeah. Is that your stomach?
Did you hear us judging you in there?
No. Oh, you're out. Yeah, why are you looking
We question your choice of ringtone. All right.
I didn't know I had those.
Or alarm, I guess. Okay. Here, let's just go through the list here. So here's one way you can find all the factors. Does 1 go into 96? Yes, 1 times 96. Does 2 go into 96?
Yep.
Yeah, because it's even. So 96 divided by 2 is
50, no wait, yep, no, 48.
48. Does 3 go in? Yeah, if you divide by 3, you get like 32. Does 4 go in? There's a lot of stuff. Okay, let's stop here. Do any of these add up to 50?
2 and 48.
Right. Well, actually, they need to add up to negative 50. So what do we need to use? Both negatives. Because 2 negatives can multiply to a positive as well, right? So we just need them both to be negative. Okay. John, what is wrong with my answer?
There's an X on there's an X on one of them.
Do you have to add a y to it?
Yeah, 2 and 48 go into 96, but what about the y squared? Okay, remember we need y's on these.
Okay.
Y's. All right. Okay. Getting close. A squared minus 14b. Okay. Sophia, have you figured this one out yet? Might have to make a list again. What goes into 72? 1 and 72, that's definitely not helpful. 2 and 36. Now, actually it's negative 72. Shh. So one of these is going to have to be negative, Jesse. Okay, 3.
Mr. Jordan, I think you hit snooze, Mr. Jordan.
Yeah. Wait, is it not on?
I think you hit snooze.
Turn it
Why
on.
is mom really
Bro.
Or why it's on his phone?
What was it set for?
What's the name of the
10.
what's the name of the alarm, Wyatt?
It's not when
We were not getting up at that time.
I know.
What's that one for?
It's another alarm. What's it called? Wyatt, what's the name of the alarm?
Why doesn't even like use the alarm? You like presses dismiss and then you fall down.
It's 324. Like science.
Oops. Gosh, there's a lot. 72 is a big one. All right.
Oh,
So, Sophia, do you know which of those we could get a negative 14 out of? And we can use, it's negative 72, so we can use one negative. 4 and 18, and I put the negative where? On 18. Yeah, basically 4 minus 18 is negative 14. So it's positive 4, negative 18. What did I do wrong?
Gotta add B.
I had to be. Okay, last one of the odds. So what is wrong with number 23? I guess I'll write it down.
There's an extra variable.
No, not an extra variable. It's in the wrong order. So you don't really have to have it in the standard order, but it probably is going to help. Shh, if we change the order. Hey, Atticus, if I have to move you again, you're just going to get a demerit. Stop screwing around. All right. I'm running out of places to move you. Mallory, you want to share your seats with Atticus?
I'll trade seats.
I think in your heart you do.
I want to sit next to
Mallory, I just thought.
Yeah, I can't imagine how that would come
It'd be really quiet.
out. Quiet.
Because we get kicked out of the classroom.
Okay, let's see, where are we at? Wyatt, what multiplies into 56? Actually, the one in the times tables might not help us. What's,
I have no idea what we're doing.
okay, I asked a question, what multiplies into 56? That's what we're doing.
What's 56 divided by 2,
Nine.
Wyatt?
Not 9, no.
4.
Okay,
28.
8 and 7.
well, there's one in the times tables, you guys should know, it's 8 times 7. Does 8 and 7 add up to 18? No, so that's not gonna help us. Alright, so something else. What, give me a number to try and I'll be the calculator.
9, 4,
Not 9, we already talked about this.
4.
Yeah, how can we tell if 4 goes into 56? Just divide it and then no remainder, right? 56 divided by 4 is 14. Can those add up to 18? Yes. Okay, these do not have any extra letters on the end, so that's the answer.
Who is doing that?
Thanks, stop.
Oh, my bad.
Don't blame
Josiah, stop.
Fine, I will.
This is a doozy, Mr. Jordan.
Is it a doozy?